I'm Cody Brown, and I have been wanting to do this video forever. I wanted to do a video to share with you why I moved my very successful and owned a brokerage business to EXP. Why would I do that? So I've been wanting to do this video for some time, and it just made sense now, especially since we're getting to enjoy some time down away from the Michigan cold, down in Florida, which I would have never gotten to do before unless we had moved our business to EXP this last year. And so I just wanted to kind of do a really quick recap on one, how did I get here? What were my reasons for moving our business here? And what have I experienced so far in the 7-8 months that we've been here? Okay, so very short version. I actually only got my real estate license about 3 years ago. And some people find that hard to believe because I've had tremendous success in that first 3 years. Through hard work and grit and prayer, I'll tell you, it is totally doable. So my husband and I, we moved our family to Michigan to be close to family almost 3 years ago, July 2018. So we moved back to an area that we didn't know anyone other than family, didn't really have any local friends, and I promise you none of them were selling houses at that time. So I didn't have a sphere. I was starting into real estate in a new area and didn't have a sphere. And by the way, my husband was actually leaving his job, and he had been the only sole income earner for the last 3.5 years. And we just bought a tremendously large, beautiful home when we moved back. So talk about the worst timing ever to start your real estate brand. That was pretty much it, right? So I got my license and I had made up my mind. I am an all in or all out kind of person, but I had made up my mind that I was going to be successful. I only had room for A game. I didn't have any room for doubt, and I didn't have any room not to be successful at this, okay? So I looked around, I interviewed with a handful of folks, and I decided that I wanted to be part of a team. Now, caveat here, asterisk, I wish that I would have understood or even known about the teams that were offered at EXP, because that would have changed probably where I am today. At the same time, I'm thankful for the learnings that I had, because I think it makes me more passionate about the opportunity and what we're living today. So I started on a team, right? I started at Berkshire Hathaway, great company, nothing bad to say about them. They were wonderful, but I did start on a team, and being on a team meant that more than half of my paycheck went to a team split, or I had a double split between the brokerage and my team lead. That wasn't the kind of money that I wanted to work for. So very quickly I found success. That team lead was actually breaking out to have his own brokerage and said, "Do you want to do this together?" And I was like, oh my gosh, here I am, a 6-7 month agent in the business having success, and somebody says, "You want to do this together?" And it was a concept that I birthed, that came from the heart, that God put on my heart, to make an impact in the community and be an agent of impact. So of course I said yes, right? So we broke off, we had our own boutique brick and mortar in our local hometown, and it was wonderful in the beginning. I was so excited, so thrilled to see not only myself doing this concept now, but having 10, 15, almost 20 agents that also wanted to be an agent of impact and give back with their local communities and causes. So that's kind of where I came from. Now, that became decently short-lived. We started that venture in January, and by June, I was already a little burnt out. And the reason was, even though we changed the name on the sign and we changed the brokerage that we were at, and even though we had owned part of it, it wasn't any different, And for me personally, and again, this video is my own personal experience that I just wanted to share with you. For me personally, the broker side of things is not why I got into this business. Okay, all of the operations, all of the behind the scenes part, that is not my wheelhouse, and that is not why I got into this business. And so I took a real deep look into, what do I want my business to look like in a year? What do I want it to look like in 5 years, 10 years? And then I started looking for other agents out there that I seen that had what I wanted, right? And where were they? And a lot of those agents that kept coming back up were agents that were at EXP. These were agents that were building wealth, not just transactional income. They were building wealth like I didn't even understand. I didn't know you could build so many different types of wealth in real estate without, being a rental income. Again, not my wheelhouse. Without being a broker, wasn't my wheelhouse. So how was I going to go about building wealth and building a long-term plan for my family, but not dabble in those areas? So these are the reasons that brought me to EXP, okay? I followed a handful of people, and I'll just give a shout out to Gogo Becky, who's actually #1 agent attraction person within EXP, and I'm just fortunate enough that she actually lives right in my state. But I followed her for a lot of months, and I'll be honest, I was probably the worst to her. I talked to her on Zooms. I followed her page. I thought, how is this woman doing this much in wealth and not just in income? How is she providing a revenue stream for the future? So I had to know more, right? So I got on the call with her and I did a Zoom, and we talked about, this is what my business is now. This is what I want it to look like in the future. And the reasons for me when I first moved to EXP were simple. I wanted to keep my brand, and I didn't really want to answer to anyone else, right? As a top producing agent, you get to a place where you don't need all the frills. I want support. I want someone there if I need them, but I don't need you in my business all the time. And I just wanted to run a simple business. I wanted a majority of my time spent with my family, with my friends, doing the things that I enjoy, doing real estate, but I just didn't want necessarily the have to go into the office and floor time. I didn't want any of that anymore. And so that was #1 thing. I wanted my brand my way. I didn't want to have to say John Doe Real Estate. I didn't want to have to be on a team and put somebody's team name above mine or on my signs or on my business cards or have my volume transaction reported through them on Realtor or Zillow. I wanted my hard work to show that it was my hard work. That was one of my #1 reasons. And that has been fulfilled 100%. So incredibly happy for that. #2 was I wanted an option to keep more of my money. That's pretty simple. I got into real estate, and 2 things that I have to say. One, long overdue, because I do not come from money, but I decided to stop loathing money. And you have to, in order to be successful, because this is the greatest career. We get to help people with the largest material purchase of their life. And we get to help them with something so intimate. This is a place where they'll have memories, have holidays, have family, right? But you have to get over your loathing of money, okay? Somebody told me the other day, I don't want to make $1 million. And I'm like, shame on you. I do. And why? Because money gives me options. Because at my true core, the reason I started this was to provide for my family today and long term, but also the more assets that I'm able to responsibly attain and spend correctly, I'm able to pour into our community. And that's been priority #1 for us, right? I do a good job, I make a good income, and then I make sure that before anything else, that I impact the community somehow. So coming to EXP meant I got to keep more of my money, okay? My first full year as an agent, I spent over $150,000 in brokerage, team splits, marketing fees, and desk fees. $150,000, right? So many times we look at our split and we don't think about what was the marketing, the franchise fee, all of those fees add up. So when I came to EXP and I looked at their simple layout for their comp plan, one, I knew I was gonna keep more money, 80-20 split, $16,000 cap, no marketing fee, right? For our state, we charge a compliance fee, $495. My broker always took that. I get to keep that now. The other thing is that I also knew what was I getting for my marketing fee half the time. I'm paying for that franchise, and I'm gonna promise you, although they are all great companies, nobody did business with me because of who I brokered my business with. Still today, nobody does business with me because I broker my business through EXP. EXP, I always explain it like this. It's like having a laptop and then you buy new software to put on it. My laptop is still the same. My business is still the exact same. but I put a new operating system on it. I put EXP on it. Okay, I bought new software. That's all my business did, is it just changed that way. But it allowed me financially to be in more control. So it gave me back a huge amount on an ongoing basis when I first started. And it gave me the opportunity to earn back, which I had never heard before, but earn back that cap. So the $16,000 cap that I paid in this last year, after I did 20 transactions beyond that, I earned back my cap in company stock. They call that iconing. So I became an icon agent this year. I actually capped with EXP my 16,000 cap paid in, my 80-20 split. I paid that in my first month at EXP, and then in month 3, I iconed. So I started getting back all of my cap money that I paid in. So I would challenge anyone. Obviously, I'm a numbers person. I'm a numbers junkie by heart. My very first job out of college in the financial world was being a financial advisor. And I would go toe to toe with any other compensation plan out there. Because even if you're paying an association, or even if you're paying a per diem per transaction, unless they're giving you that money back or giving you an option to earn that money back, you're still in the hole. You're still paying more money, bottom line, okay? And just as a side note, obviously it's in the market. Now granted, it could be worth a penny, but it could be like this year, and my 16,000 that I've put in and award stock that they just give me out of the kindness of their heart for doing my job. Each year when I close, I get 400 stock, and each time when any agent that works with me that I've sponsored closes, I get 200 stock each year. So that money is already worth over $45,000. I have $45,000 sitting in an account today because of doing a job that I would have done anyway at any other broker. In any other broker, I would have only had the trophies and the commission checks. But here, I have that $45,000 sitting in an investment account for me, and I have the trophies, and I have even better commission checks, which in turn has allowed my husband and myself to pour back and be agents of impact even greater than we were before. So number one was I wanted my brand. Selfishly, you become a good producer, a top producer, you are recognized for your hard work, okay? And that's how I build my brand. My car is plastered with my picture, and our signs are, and with our name, and if I'm the one putting in the hard work, I want recognized for it. I don't want it to be my team lead or my broker that they're recognizing all over, because I'm the one putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. So that's number one. I wanted my brand my way. Number two, financially, I wanted to keep more of my money. I wanted an opportunity to earn more money. I wanted an opportunity to earn more streams of income. And I've felt very passionate that there should be an agent of impact in every single community, coast to coast, right? We are the dream makers in our community. We help people with the American dream of buying a home. There should be one of me doing what I do in every single town, coast to coast. And EXP was the only brokerage that was going to allow me to do that. So that was the third reason. The third reason that I decided to walk away from a brokerage that I partnered in, my concept that I birthed, was because EXP was allowing me to take my concept and say, hey, do you love to sell homes? Do you like to make good money? And do you want to impact your community in an awesome way? Whether that means that you're giving back time, you're giving back donations, or you're just really taking amazing care of your clients, that you're doing real estate the right way, the way it was intended, the way that we all should be doing it, right? Treating every one of our clients, like it's your grandma, for God's sakes, taking amazing care of them. So EXP was going to allow me to do that, and has already started to allow us to do that as we've grown through other states. So those are my top 3 reasons, and there are many. And now what's neat is, again, we've been here about 8 months, and those were my reasons for moving. And now, because I'm already seeing those things come to fruition, I see how much more is possible. I've been able to learn from the best agents out there, right? My sponsor, GoGo, has taught me tremendous value that she brings to the table on how to grow a business, how to look at other income streams, right? As much as many agents may not like to admit it, they don't have an exit strategy. They don't have a long-term revenue stream. They have to work literally until the day they die. I think somebody made a joke like, hey, you never go to a realtor's funeral because they never stop working, right? Bottom line is, we all deserve the right to earn a more comfortable lifestyle of grinding all the time. I love what I get to do, but I promise you, I don't want to do 10 more transactions every single year. I don't want to do 75 and then 85 and then 95 transactions. That's not a good living to me. Okay? I wanted to build business in a way that I could enjoy my lifestyle, teach other people to do what I did, because that's in my wheelhouse. Maybe your wheelhouse is rental properties. Maybe it's Airbnbs. Maybe your wheelhouse is a local team. Maybe it's a national team. You know, and the one side note is, when I first looked at EXP, I also thought the same thing everybody else did, which was about recruiting. And only an average of 1% of the agents at EXP actually have any agents that are sponsored. So that's really a null and void argument to not look at an opportunity that has so many benefits and so many variables. But once I got here, I realized how excited I was to share this with other people. So it did quickly become part of my wheelhouse and something that I've seen being a huge part of my long-term plan. But the other things that we have done since we accomplished capping and icon and seeing the benefits is just like this. We're down in Florida for the month of January. We live in Michigan, and this would have never been something that would have been possible at a traditional brick and mortar the way that we had our business built before. This is only possible because we do have a revenue stream. You know, we were about 4 or 5 months in when our revenue share started covering our mortgage. That's a fantastic thing to get to a place where you're helping, and I'm not a broker, right? Most of the time, the only person making money from those transactions when those people are coming in, people that you may very well have recruited or attracted into the brokerage, is the broker. So here I am making a revenue share, a monthly paycheck that goes towards paying our bills, and all the commission and everything else is icing on the cake. That would have never been possible before. So we're so blessed. We've grown into, within our state, we've grown a handful of agents. We've grown into Utah, into Georgia, into Florida. We're so blessed to get to work with those business partners. And they get everything that I get as far as all of the support from all of the individuals within our organization. So here we are 7-8 months in, and I don't feel unrest. That's the biggest thing I have to say. You know, when I was on a team and I was new, I was going really fast. I was growing really fast. And it was a very short time before I became a pretty top producer in our area. And I had a feeling of unrest. Like, what's next? What am I going to do next? I want to grow. How do I do that? Then it was, okay, we're opening a brokerage. And it was a very short time after that where, again, here I am, a top producing agent. I've won trophies, I've won accolades, but what next? And I didn't really have a what next. There was no one else within my 4 walls at my brokerage that was challenging me. There was no growth that was taking me to that next level long-term. There was no long-term plan. It was always just the next deal. And I can 100% tell you with no BS that here we are 7-8 months into this, and I feel like we are just scratching the surface. We are just finally getting into our mojo. And I say that after we did almost 13 million in volume, right? Almost 10 agents that we're business partners with. And I have never been so fired up about getting to do business. I have never been so fired up about being a real estate agent. I've never been so fired up about how much there is to offer. This last year, they actually rolled out with benefits as well, which is so amazing to get to offer people. That in our industry, one of the things, a couple of the things are kind of standard. One, that your business is in your backyard, which EXP blurs the lines. That's not always the case. And two, that you're an independent contractor and you can't get benefits. And EXP has solved that. There is so many things that they have done. In this next year, I actually got approved to be a mentor throughout EXP, and I'm so excited to change so many lives this next year, to get to teach them not only what EXP has to offer for their business, and they can decide which ones they want to use to build their wealth their way, but which ones also want to be on the same path like I am, and they want to be an agent of impact. They want to build an amazing, legendary thing in their backyard, their brand, their way, right? So I can honestly tell you, I have never been more happy and more excited in real estate. I know I haven't been in it that long, but the average real estate agent only makes it about 5 years. The burnout ratio is pretty bad, right? We're at about 80% people burn out. And that was something that scared me, because if I had only continued with growing transactions to grow my business, I would have been burnt out. I would have. Okay, something has to give at some point, because you're exchanging time for money. And at some point, your time, the time that you spend with your loved ones or doing things that you love, isn't going to be enough for what you're getting paid, right? So that's the beautiful thing. And that's what has me so fired up and so excited, is that EXP is teaching me different ways to stop trading so much of my time for money and to do it in ways that I enjoy more. What are the things that I would do for free? Right? I would coach and mentor. That's what my background is, right? That's what I started in. The only thing that I love more than my own success is helping someone else's success. That's phenomenal for me. And now maybe that's not what's for you, but I promise you, with all the things that EXP has to offer, if you're a real estate agent and you haven't taken a hard look at it, you're really selling yourself short. You are. And if you're turning down an opportunity you've never fully looked at, and you've never sat down and you've talked with someone, you've watched how the compensation plan works, you've watched how the revenue share works, you've watched how you can, build wealth here, not just income. If you're turning it down without looking at it, you're really doing yourself a shame. So that is why I moved my business to EXP this last year. And it's January of 2021, and I couldn't be more excited about what this next year has to offer. The company just split its stock, right? We're coming out with some really amazing things this next year for all of the top performing agents to be able to help other agents lift them up. That's the other beautiful thing. I know it sounds corny. Guys, get it. I am not a big rah-rah person. I know it sounds corny, but I have never once ever experienced something where everybody around you, even those who do not benefit pay-wise, really want you to succeed. They want to help you. They want to grow you. There is so much support, to almost an overwhelming point. There is so much support within this company. And the only way you wouldn't succeed is if you don't put the work in, if you don't plug in, because there are too many opportunities here to not find success. There are too many opportunities here to not build your own wealth plan. So I'm Cody Brown, and you can follow me on Instagram, Cody Brown Realtor, the Impact Agents. You can follow me on Facebook. You can reach out to me directly on the Calendly link and get on my calendar, and we can chat, compare your current business to what your business could be like at EXP. And I am happy to go through those numbers with you, because I literally was you 7-8 months ago, right? I was at an unrest point where I just wanted something different. I needed something to change. I needed to get excited again, because honestly, I had kind of peaked pretty fast, and I had done really well really fast. And maybe it's taken you longer to build the production you want, but maybe now you need something different. Maybe now you're comfortable leaving the security that you felt like on a team. Maybe you're sick of somebody taking half of your paycheck. Maybe you're sick of your brokerage fees. Maybe you just want to build your own brand. Whatever that reason is that's tugging on your heart, Maybe it's not even anything's wrong. Maybe you're just looking around. But whatever that reason is, you are welcome to message me. You are welcome to send a calendar invite down below, and I would love to chat with you. It is hands down, other than getting my real estate license, hands down the best decision we have ever made. From a team member to a brokerage owner to brokering it through EXP. We are financially better set up. We are better positioned to help other people, and we are better at servicing our community than ever before. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope to talk to you soon.